There we go. Okay. Let me adjust my mic. I think everything's good. Hello? Yep. Okay, good. Hi. Here we are. Surprise. It's a surprise Sunday stream. It is difficult to say what time it is because we just had daylight savings, but I guess it's 15 minutes to 9 o'clock. Yeah, and I figured I should get some work done. Give me 1 second. Never fails. The second I start streaming, I lose my voice. So, before we get too many people in here, let me just state what's going on. I've started thinking about how I want to make different combo levels. Yesterday, I figured out how to get multiple levels, sub-levels streaming together under one kind of main level. And after that stream finished up, I cleaned that up a bit, and I kept pushing on that and fixing a lot of bugs with that. Good morning, Javix. Hey, I'm glad you could catch this one from the beginning, man. Cool. So yeah, yesterday was mostly, and good morning. Hey guys, we're all gonna work together today. I have to say what I'm gonna do at the very beginning so that, like, people on YouTube who only watch the first 2 minutes have some kind of clue what's up. That's the goal, basically. But, yeah. I want to start making levels. I'm pretty committed to starting to make levels. And the second I started doing that, I immediately hit, like, 1,000,000 bugs and 1,000,000 different things that I want to do. I guess you would call those features. So, let's talk through some of them. Like, I only started making one other level. And this was pretty late last night. Good morning, Peebs. Alright, so I got a lot of the bugs fixed with loading these in. I can now load in multiple levels. Here's a new one I started thinking about. What if... I can do this really quickly because I know how to win. There's quite a few little gotchas in here. Wait, I think I can do this quickly. I think I know how to win. If I recall. That's a bold statement. I'm very bad at my own game. It can be surprisingly hard. Okay. So what I want, not yet. There's several things. See how the camera jerked around all the way like that? That actually throws off my control scheme. Good afternoon, SM Blade. See how it, when I switch characters, I need, that the first thing I'm going to do is today is fix that. Another thing I'm going to do is, I have this idea now that you can push off of a character. So he can push off of her. There's a lot of bugs around that I want to fix. Yeah, and if I can accomplish those two things, this will have been a pretty impressive day. I don't know how far I'm going to get just for this stream. Did I get the rainbow tiles thing working? Yes. That was, here, I guess I could show you. It looks really bad right now. Because I basically did the tech for it and then realized this is really unimportant and walked away. But, see those little... See how it's like scruffy around the edge of the world? What it's doing is it's taking and it's drawing one big static mesh across the edge of the world. At least it should be. It looks like it's drawing... That might be broken, actually. It's doing one here. But on the lengthwise, I'm seeing it repeating quite a bit. In fact, there's several things for that. That's kind of ugly. I should clean that up a bit so it's not hideous, huh? Let me do that real quick. Where's, Let me show you that. So, this was all the level stuff I did. When you switch characters... Possess. Where did that even live? Not here. Switch to this pawn. Brighten the materials. Dude, what even is this? Goal hit? The shit is goal hit. I don't remember ever adding that. And it does nothing. So we're gonna make that gone. Dude, do you remember where I did that? Hey, Yerk's group, good morning, man. Let's see, current level. I can unwind this, hold on. Event graph. When you switch tracks. Switch from this pawn. I think we just looked there. That's fine. Load it. Get the variables. Save. Switch to the new pawn. Possess. Init. UI. Oh, that's the level loading camera. So it's somewhere we're calling it in the grid world, right? This is that madness. This is actually all disconnected. Ignore this bottom one. I'm experimenting with what I'm going to do with this. I don't think I'm actually going to use it at runtime. I think I'm going to make it a blutility. I think I'm actually going to use this to help me make the final art for the game after I've finished putting in all the blocks. I think I'm going to do a pass where I procedurally generate the like the planes and the lines and everything for the game to give me a starting point when it comes time to do the final art pass. I kind of like the idea of giving me some way of bootstrapping it, and I kind of want to experiment a lot more with blutilities anyway. So I had started pulling this aside and making a blutility, and then it was like 2 a.m. and I just went to sleep. But this is so unimportant, I just kind of shelved it for a while. Anyway, I do super hate the static mesh I'm drawing. So just to give you an example, so you can see it working for each. This is location, add static mesh component. I don't like. Let's just make it matte black and then you'll be able to see it more clearly. See those black lines? In hindsight, matte black doesn't work because there's matte black in the background. Let me try one more time. We are so close. Let's make it silver. There. No, it's cool, dude. It's fun to talk about. I just show off. Okay, so those silver lines. It's figuring out where to draw those and drawing them. And this should be a key. The reason why I did that was to make this all one line as opposed to 3 line segments, because that's going to help me later on when I want to do things procedurally and I just want to draw one line. So it scales them rather than drawing them over and over and over. It's kind of an important key. There's obviously bugs. You can see the silver lines over there. I didn't do anything to detect if there's Z height on top of you to stop it. Also, when I use the stack mesh I'm going to use in the end will be two-sided and angled so that you get an outline of the world. And I'm hoping that'll help you. When it's all said and done, hopefully something here will help you visualize the 3D space a little bit better. In fact, I already kind of feel like that helps a little bit. Helps you feel the grid a bit. Anyway, I'm going to change that back. Let's make that outline B. See, now it's way more subdued. Kind of get that a little bit drawn over the edge of the world look that I was going for before. In all seriousness, I kind of liked it when it was a bit lighter. Maybe I should experiment with... Is there an outline that's a different color? Just for now. Lighter. It's, that might help me with my debug, actually. Oh my god, I'm rat holing this something I very intentionally set aside to not work on. But you definitely see that now I need to keep working on this. Hold on a sec. So if I... I need to push it out along the normal a bit. The right thing to do would be to do this in the stack mesh. Good morning, designer. Let's just real quick. It'll take like a second. Let's just drop this. Designer, are you new here? I don't remember you, man. Import that line mesh. Let's see. Display. Show me your face normals. Which direction's the normal direction? Oh my god. Display. Face normals. What are you? Why are you not showing? You have normals. Alright, there we go. Okay, yeah, so the normals are in this direction, which means let's just take this mesh, scooch over here, let's tilt it a scooch, let's duplicate it for the other side, let's just take the scoocher. I want this to work. Nope. Environment. Where do I put those lines? God, I am really unorganized. Let's see what that does. No, I don't have an ArtStation account. I'm sorry, man. Let's go with environment art. Cut the whole garage idea. Roof props, sky props. Thing is, you can't really create a folder hierarchy for your art until you know what art you need, and I have no idea what I need. So... it didn't combine them. Mesh, combine. File, export. Let's make you line B by default. Let's just fix that. Anyway, obviously the other lines will be more interesting. Yeah, I used to work on Bioshock Infinite back when Irrational was a studio. Did the original game and the DLC. I'm glad you liked it. That's cool, man. Hey, Master Twist. Bioshock was really fun to work on. Definitely. So do you kind of understand why I was doing this now? It was to get, like, something to outline the play area. And now that I'm doing this again... it's better. Now I want to fix all the bugs with it, now that you guys have brought this up. You're killing me, guys. That was not what today was supposed to be about. But maybe that's what today ends up being about. I mean, I'm trying really hard to design the game with temp art. And this is about as close as I can get to gray boxing without losing my mind. Like, I literally doodled the levels. It looks so purple, though. Why does it look so fucking purple? What's the deal? Okay, that looks slightly inoffensive, I think. Good and sketchy. Anyway, we'll figure out the look later. I shouldn't rat hole on this. I will, but I shouldn't. I want to. but I won't. We're gonna focus on what I was here to do today. I want to change that color like 18 more times. I like that you like these kinds of puzzle games. Cool. Alright. Let's fix the things that are really problems. Like that camera situation. What's happening? What's the deal with my camera? Why is it all borked? How am I gonna start figuring that out? Let's start with... It won't be in here. It'll be in the game mode. When I switch characters... Unsuppress movement. Nothing is turning the camera. Okay, so when I switch from one character to another, I take my dynamic camera, I get the world transform for it, and I spawn what I call the level loading camera hold, which is just a camera that holds things in place, because by default Unreal wants to mess with your camera when you when your player controller possesses another pawn. You can uncheck some boxes to make it so that the player controller doesn't automatically set the view target to the new pawn, which I do. But for posterity's sake, I still lock the camera, basically. I may not need that anymore. But that's definitely not the problem. Oh yeah, I remember why I do this. Okay, so I lock the camera. Basically, when I switch from one character to another, I spawn a camera that has no logic on it. And I set the player controller to look through that camera. And then... That's freeze camera. This theoretically does nothing, because there shouldn't be basic cameras around anymore. That's old logic from when I was doing something very different. Then I load the next... If there's no level, I load it for the next track. I get all the variables for it. We've talked about that before. This is special stuff for if you have a level that's made up of multiple sublevels. I do switch this pawn. I possess the new pawn, which should not actually take control of the camera. I get my dynamic camera. Here's the problem, and I set the actor transform. I probably shouldn't do that. I should probably set the actor location. Let me look at the camera. I cleaned this up at one point off stream. So the player camera is... There's kind of like a base location for it that is at a certain elevation relative to the level, and then there's a rotation for it, which is I need it to be in the cardinal direction so that the WASD makes sense. If your camera is kind of like... So when you hit W, you always want your character to go forward, which is relative to the camera, right? If the camera turns, then forward is a different direction. So there's a lot of logic there to kind of keep that consistent. And that's also why I don't have free cam right now. I don't want you to be able to tumble the camera around, because you get into a state where you're not really sure what WASD is going to do anymore, and that's confusing and shitty. So Anyway, so the base of the camera moves up to be a specific place in the level. And then the actual camera rotates to track the player from there because I determined that is what looks cool and feels good. So... And yeah, I think... Let's see everything that's rotating. This world rotation, I think, is the thing that's set. Yeah, this is set when you rotate, like, in the cardinal directions. Okay. I think I don't ever want to change the rotation of the actual actor. I think I only ever want to set actor location. So I think I'm going to break this transform and just get the location and set that. And then what I do is I lerp from my this set view target with blend over 0.6 seconds. We'll take that temporary camera hold I have and it'll lerp over to the dynamic camera, at which point I'm using the dynamic camera stuff. This is just saying it's a cubic blend, blah blah blah. Ooh, I init the camera here. What does a knit camera do? Reset set world rotation. I don't know if I want to do that. Oh shit, that might be the real problem. I'm gonna go back to the way things were. I'm gonna say if you're a combo level, yeah. Combo. I only want to do this if you're not a combo level. So there's my if then. If your combo level is false, do that, otherwise skip it. Let's see if that fixes that bug. The first time watching the stream, can you do a short recap on what the game is about? Sure. Give me a second. I mean, I'm working on some of the later levels now, so I'm going to show you as a later level. So you're these little puzzle boxes that move around in the world, right? That's broken. Interesting. And your goal is to not fall off the world and die. Your goal is instead to get to these target locations. Don't want to totally rehash everything, but interesting. Sorry, and what I'm testing right now is there's a problem when I was switching between these characters. Where if the camera was over here and I switched to a new character, it would rotate the camera all the way around. Also, the controls would be messed up. Whereas I think this fixed it, but I also feel like something else weird is going on. Where I'm more this way than I was before. It's hard to explain. don't like that I'm getting this kind of weird little rotation. What is that? Why is that happening? Sweet. Welcome to the stream, Thomas. Obviously the art is all super temp. Bang. I'm having trouble articulating what I don't like. Why is it when I go from here to here, I get this kind of sideways tilt? I don't like it. Where's that coming from? I don't like it. I guess it's not technically a bug. Let's make these whole numbers. Let's make these similar. I mean, it's probably just I haven't really touched the cameras at all in ever. Oh, I definitely have a look at system active, but because I do want it to look at the characters. It was the rotation I didn't really care for. What I mean is there's a rotation coming from the base. No, you're right, that is just the look at system. I felt like there was something more going on, but maybe there isn't. No, something weird is up. Look. Okay, see how the camera is looking this way? And then I rotate, and I rotate back, and now it's in the right spot, and it'll stay in the right spot. Same thing here. When I go here, I always want the camera to be coming at you 3/4 view from the other side. This is never a view I want. And when I rotate the camera using the controls and rotate back, I get what I want. Something's up. Okay, so this is happening, and it fixes when I switch characters. Or, I'm sorry, it fixes when I rotate the camera directly. Which means... What does that mean? When I rotate the camera directly... Update, world rotations, press, blah, blah, blah. Here's the current world rotation. This is that plus 10 degrees. It's giving that slight rotation around the side. pitch I'm not worried about. Let's see here. So yeah, all I'm doing is setting this camera clockwise offset times negative. You know what? I'm just gonna say set world rotation by default gets you this. And if you're initializing the camera for the first time, your clockwise offset's going to be 0 anyway, so it's fine. This camera clockwise offset, this is the thing on the player controller that says if I'm looking down X or down Y or up X or up Y. That's all that is. Which I'm pulling from the player controller right here. Gotta do that up here as well. So I'm going to add all that to the initialization of the camera, and I'm going to initialize the camera every time I switch characters. Because it's such a small thing. And there we go. Oh, you've been talking, I'm sorry. Your cardinal rotation isn't the same with you and the object. I don't know if that was a typo. Minus inut plus input. When you ALND on the object. And when you INUT. I think you might be a real programmer. I have no idea what the hell you're saying right now. I'm sure it's very logical. Get player. Wait, why are you not? Oh, whoops. I forgot to log into Perforce. Do-do-do-do. Perforce. Copy password. Oh, don't apologize. I apologize for not knowing what you're talking about. I think... I'm not kidding. I suspect you actually do know what you're talking about. The narrative conceit... It's a joke that I put hashtag programming. I'm not a programmer. I'm an animator. I do visual scripting, and I'm trying to do this entire project entirely in Blueprint, which is a visual scripting language. So the goal is to see if I can make an entire indie game without ever installing Visual Studio. That's one of my side missions for this project. The main goal being make a fucking awesome game, bring a little joy to the world, and I don't know, respect and love of my peers? Something up there? Bueller? Kill some time before we die? I don't know. Why does anybody do anything? So, what am I doing? Yeah, this should work, right? Logged into Perforce. Alright, let's see what happens when I switch. Oh, right. Nothing should have changed. Because I'm not knitting the camera for a combo level. I'm gonna go back to doing that. Bam. Oh, okay. They're typos. I just thought you were, like, really, really good with the acronyms, man. I was like, I believe it. Oh, see? Oh, that feels right. Right? That feels right? Let's see if we've reintroduced the other bug. Nope. When I switch between characters, I don't have crazy cam. Good, good. Good, good. Okay, crazy cam bug crushed. You know what we could do today? I could not do the thing I was supposed to do, and instead, I kind of want to have the idea that you can move the camera. Free cam in 3D space. But it'll kind of lerp back to its cardinal direction. It's probably not the right thing to work on. Should probably not do that. Oh, for this game I've done absolutely everything. I made it from scratch. So yeah, all the scripting, the art, if you can call it art, it's very temporary. Obviously more art is coming in. Something more, I don't want to go something high frequency, but I do definitely want more than black boxes and shit like this. Like, this will get better. I'm trying really hard not to focus on the art so that I can get the levels and get the actual game figured out. I'm glad you like it, man. I do want this color feel. There's things about this art style I want. I'm filling it out as I go. I think I am going to keep the kind of slapdash drawn lines thing, not for this part, but like on the characters and stuff. I'm not entirely sure it fits with the vibe of like jazzy music theme. For a while I was thinking I might switch it up to something thicker, but that tends to look kind of mass market and shitty. Yeah, I think I do want to keep it hand-drawn like this. I do like that. I waffle back and forth about the whole music scene and like, do I want them to be musical boxes in general? Because I'm not a musician and I don't have a musician I'm working with right now yet. Exactly. I've got some ideas about that. But I kind of like that it's a trumpet and a piano and stuff. It feels... And I like the weird puns, like getting the band back together. Alright, you know what? This is a chill stream. And I'm kind of in a flighty mood, so I'll show you guys what the original... Alright, I'm going to show you some stuff. Hold on. I'm just turning up my desktop audio. Okay. So... The other thing is, I'm letting this project get out of control, and I really need to ramp it up by the end of the year. Because I own a small business in Boston, and we're probably going to be ramping up pretty hard on our next project, Q1 next year. So I need to be in a place where this is pretty far along to done by then. Plus GDC comes, and I get slammed every year. Anyway. I've shown this before on stream, but... screw it. This... I was trying to figure out what I wanted to make. This was the video I made to get me started. So you kind of get the idea. So I made that video to kind of get me going. A small business. Oh, I own a, so after Bioshock Infinite shipped, and we shipped the DLC, Irrational closed down, and a lot of us were laid off at the same time, and I wanted to go indie, and some other people wanted to go indie, and we were like, let's go indie together, and so we did. Forrest and I and a couple of other folks started a business in Boston called the Molasses Flood. We're an indie game studio. We shipped our first title, The Flame in the Flood, about a year and a half, 2 years ago now. It just came out on the Switch. It's been out on PS4 and Xbox One and stuff, and we've been ramping up on a new project at work. Yeah, I guess that was 1.5 years ago. That feels like yesterday. But, so I'm an indie developer full-time. right now we're in a hurry up and wait phase, and I've got a lot of nervous energy because we're pitching a much bigger project that's going to require funding, and we're talking to different people about money, and we're kind of like, it takes a really long time to go from, hey, here's our pitch, to there's money in the bank. And so in the meantime, we've reduced the number of days a week we work. And so now I have free time, so I'm working on this. Just until like the end of the year or so. And also to kind of like get used to streaming. I think I would like maybe to stream the bigger project, the one we're going to do for the Molasses Flood. And so this is helping. This stream is kind of like me getting used to the idea of Twitch streaming. And it's me making an adorable indie game that I really, really want to make. That video I showed was, I sent that out to a bunch of my designer friends, and they're all like, hey, that's great. You're gonna make no money. You're not planning to make money, right? I was like, no, I'm not fucking around. Which I thought was hilarious. Because there's this theory that, like, indie developers are supposed to be this starry-eyed dreamers, but most indie developers I know are actually really business-oriented. Anyway, that was a tangent. So yeah, that's my whole story. That's who I am. Now you know. That video was kind of like what I had in mind when I got started. And now it's about here. I don't think anyone can do Stardew Valley. That took a singular vision. I would like to make a sweet puzzle game. The problem is, so there's this problem I have in life where I try to be taken seriously, and then at some point I'm like, nah, fuck it. And things tend to go off the rails. What I mean by that is, like, when I started speaking, I thought I'd be like this, you know, respected indie developer that would go speak, and instead, I'm not mad, but like I go to GDC each year, and my role is like, I'm the funny talk at GDC for the animation boot camp, which I love. But every now and then I'll do something like I gave a talk about quadruped animation, which is very dry, at MIT and at GDC and stuff. And afterwards, everybody would come up to me and they'd be like, Gwen, you're so funny. You're hilarious. And I'm just like, but that was me being my most serious. And so yeah, when I started this, I went to my designer. I went specifically to Forrest, and I was like, all right. I know you don't want to make puzzle games. That's cool. I have an idea, and I really want to do it. I want to go for it. I want to make a serious title. Like, I want to be like a serious. I've never designed a game before. I'm gonna take this very seriously, and I'm gonna make some real artsy bullshit, man. I'm gonna make like the most artsy bullshit you can imagine. And he just goes, you can't call it artsy bullshit, Gwen. And that was, and I sent a bunch of emails out that day to my friends, and I was like, yeah, I'm all in on artsy bullshit. And then this took off. So, I don't know. We'll see where this goes. I'm already imagining all the death animations I want to make for these characters. That's about where my head's at right now. I want to make about 400 different death animations for these characters. I want them to fall off the world in different ways. I'm very intentionally not animating anything yet. Nothing is animated yet. That's intentional. Very intentionally not working on any of the art yet. But that day will come and it'll be great. You can be funny and serious at the same time. Maybe. I think humor is a great way to send a message. I'm a huge fan of John Oliver, political comedy in general. I grew up, like, I fell asleep to Jon Stewart for a large portion of my life. I'd put that on at 11 and I'd be like, oh, Jon Stewart, you're so funny, and then fall asleep, so. Thank you. I'm glad you guys like it. I am nobody, so I'm supposed to, I read on the internet, you go on Twitch and you like stream yourself making the game, and then you get like a community. So you're my community. This is what's happening right now. We're building a community in real time around this. I need you guys to be on board with this. You need to tell me if you don't like it, and then we'll fix it, and then we'll together, you know, make a fucking awesome game, and yeah, then I'll be like a serious developer. We'll take this artsy bullshit to around the world, showing it to people. I need banners and shit. And sell put? I don't know what sell put is. Should I Google that? Let's Google it. Sell put. I don't think that's a thing. Sell out. Oh. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'll sell out, man. Why? I like money. Whatever. My community contains Mijana Haley. What? The other thing is I don't understand Twitch, so I don't. I want to. I don't. The vast majority of people on Twitch are watching people play video games, and I have absolutely no interest in that. I love watching other developers work. Probably for different reasons. I usually like turn it on while I'm working and then mostly ignore it. Whereas I feel like a lot of people watch this like it's TV. And so when I stream, most of the time when I'm streaming, I'm a little bit hyper today, but most of the time I'm just like not talking to the chat and getting something done. And maybe you turn this on because you want something while you work. Maybe you happen to use Twitch the way I do. I don't know. But that was kind of my goal for the channel. How can a game dev not understand Twitch? None of us do. We're trying very hard, actually. Most game developers are like in our 30s and dumb. Just Twitch is very new. I mean, figuring out Twitch and how to get streamers to stream your stuff, especially in the indie space, is a constant conversation at GDC. Like, what is this? How do we meet these people? How do you, it seems like full random. It seems like you roll the dice and some things take off on Twitch and some things don't. And some people try really hard to be on Twitch. Like Proletariat specifically makes games that are designed to be streamed. But I feel it's almost like flirting. Like if you try too hard to be good for Twitch, nobody on Twitch will take you seriously. I don't think Proletariat really took off really well with what they were making, the Streamline game, and it's a huge mystery why some things do well on Twitch and some things don't. I do get that, and I get I used to play a lot of League of Legends back a long ass time ago, and I totally understand esports and the appeal of watching somebody who's a master at an esport play. I get that. Like, I can see how that would be super cool. I can see it's sitting next to your friend and watching them beat Mario levels. Yeah, but why? What makes somebody, a streamer, choose the game they choose? Like, why are some games so much more streamable than other games? Is it how engaging the game is? You don't want to make a game that's not engaging just so the streamers pick it up, because then you made a shitty game, right? Yeah. I think Twitch as a platform has the potential to grow, to be more than just something that I understand what it's used for now, that a lot of people use it to watch their friends play games and hang out with their friends in a chat room. I remember when AOL was new and chat rooms were new and exciting, and I remember how fun that was. And I mean, I can think back to that time, and I totally get it. And I actually do really, really enjoy watching dev streams, to be honest. For the game dev, you gotta give value for time to the streamer so that he can entertain his friends' viewers. What about Cuphead? What about it? Did they stream it? It's just an amazing, fun-looking game to look at, too. I imagine that would be really... and frustrating. I can see how people would love streaming that. God, Cuphead's beautiful. How do I define success in Twitch as a game dev? Mm. I haven't figured that out yet. I've just started streaming, like, I guess, midway to the beginning of September. I think if people find out about this game and remember it, that it exists, and maybe, like, someday when I post a GIF, they retweet it on Twitter and it gets the game out there, that's success, right? If I could get people hyped about this game, that would be cool. I think that's the goal. I'm glad you like it, Javis. The genitalia. I think this stream is, in the end, going to be a comedy stream where people watch a sad animator bang her head against learning how to program. That's quickly the way it's going. Forget your game. When you browse Twitch and you see the games list, what makes you think this game is... Oh, what makes you think this game had success on Twitch and this one hasn't? Just... Oh, God, that's easy. It doesn't start with Twitch. When you go to Steam Spy and you're like, holy shit, where did this game come from and why is it huge? And then somebody says Twitch, and then you navigate to Twitch because most game developers do not use Twitch. You navigate to Twitch and you see that it's in the front page, and you go, wow, Twitch made this game exist. That's when you... That's a thing that happens frequently. People are like, where did this game come from? And then somebody's like, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds is probably the perfect example. Came from fucking nowhere. I mean, came from fucking nowhere. As far as most of the dev scene was concerned. Nobody saw that coming. So I think that's a power that Twitch has. And it's pretty unpredictable what's gonna hit like that, in my head. A big thing when you're pitching to publishers right now is talking about how your game is gonna be so streamable. And everybody pretends they know what that means. It usually apparently means some, a game where, I don't believe any of it, to be honest. I think fun games just do well. I think PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds did well because it was fun. And it's true, having a game that's fun to watch too, where silly things that are kind of unexpected happen on screen is great. And I can definitely see a narrative game, for instance, will not do well on Twitch. A game where that's super focused on narrative or super focused on linear gameplay. Because if somebody... Even if a lot of big streamers stream that, everybody will see it and then they'll be like, okay, I saw it, the end. They don't feel like, oh, I need to go there. I need to beat their score. I need to figure this out. You know, I think part of the reason why there is all this conversation about the death of narrative games and single player games is because of Twitch. No, Afra, I think everybody knows that. The question is how to get there. PUBG was not unknown. Oh, was that the H1Z1 guy? Did I not know that? Shit, I should have known that. When I say it came from nowhere, I mean, no one saw how successful that was gonna be. Like, no one even came close to guessing that. I didn't know he was the H1Z1 guy. I've missed a very critical piece of information there. I don't know how I missed that. I'm not as plugged in as I pretend to be, I guess. Man. That's crazy. Alright. We've been talking a lot. I think he literally replicated Ice Frog Dota 2 LOL, but on first person shooter. I don't know if I would take it there. Those are so very different. Well, that's an interesting way to think of it. Yeah, I never would have thought of it like that. Though you realize Ice Frog had nothing to do with League of Legends, right? Wasn't that Mark Merrill and wasn't Ice Frog the one that left to work at Valve for Dota 2? Yeah. Yeah, that whole story was pretty insane. I met them once. Mike Mara, I almost went to work at Riot, but instead I went to work on Bioshock Infinite because that game looked fucking sick and it was really fun to work on. I have no regrets. But so I met them a lot, and I was like one of the, back when the ranking system was new, I was something like the 8th best Janna or some shit long ass time ago. This is back when nobody played that game. During the beta. I was really into League of Legends at first. Where's I going with this? Yeah, I met them, and the cool story there was like they made Dota, left it to Ice Frog, went to business school, graduated with a business degree, and then made the game. And somehow, in the span of all those years, nobody fucking made Dota into a real game, and nobody knows why. Like, nobody stole that idea in years. And then they made League of Legends, and just improved upon their design and made a sweet game. It was amazing. Yeah, making games is hard, guys. Alright, this is a game dev stream. I should dev some game, right? I wrote down what I was gonna do today. Let's dev some game. Wonder which of these two things I want to do. I have a choice now. For today. 2 big goals. One would be try to set up a camera that's dynamic so that I can rotate around the characters, rather than only being able to go to cardinal directions, and I softly lerp back to the main camera. That would be one possible goal. That would definitely change the way the game feels. If I could middle mouse click and drag the camera around. Kind of leaning towards doing that. The other goal, the one I was initially going to do today, fuck what I was initially going to do today. I'm going to do the camera thing. Let's get there. So how do I want to do that? So... oh, shit. Okay. This will be fun. What makes a good animator? That's a very big question. What makes anything good? Somebody who's capable of producing high quality animations on time and on budget? I don't have a name for the game yet. Java's still thinking on that. I'm gonna focus on this though now. So right now I had the idea of you could middle mouse button scroll wheel like this. Let's get rid of that because that's shitty. It's not bad, but no one's ever going to use it. What do I want to do here? Okay, I think I'm gonna have it, for now I'm gonna put it on the middle mouse button. I might change that later. I think I'm gonna say shit. Let me think this through. I know how to do this on a controller. And then, yeah, John, yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm just trying to figure out how to do it. Let's go into the project settings. So I'm gonna go to my input. Like, I know how to detect when a button is hit. Okay, let me just start. I'll start and I'll figure it out. Alright, so the bindings are going to be... I don't have access, obviously. This is so much easier on controller. Alright, the bindings are going to be... call it free cam. It's going to happen when you middle mouse button. Mouse... For now, middle mouse button. Yeah. Dynamic camera. This is for the controller. This is to rotate the world. Comment this out real quick. Init rotation. Okay. These I'm actually getting rid of. This is actually the mouse movement stuff. Shit. Oops. I'm gonna ignore using the controller, like the Xbox One controller for now. Get rid of this. I'm gonna say input action. How about, what do I call it? Free cam. When free cam is pressed. What's my computer program background? I'm not a programmer. I'm an animator. I've written a lot of tools in Python and such. Maybe a little bit of C# back in the day. But there is no programming background here. It's pretty much self-taught in that way. So when you press the free cam button, how do I want to do this? I'm just trying to figure out how sensitive the mouse should be. I guess there's got to be a way to detect. Okay, I probably need to get the pointer location. Get pointer index, get cursor. Get cursor delta. What is that? Oh, that's gonna be super useful. Yes. Okay. What else do you have for cursor? Don't want that shit. I'm gonna start Googling things. UE4. Get cursor position. Right. Get player controller. Cursor. Just what do you have for the cursor? No. Get mouse. Oh my god, get mouse position. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Get the mouse position. I guess I want to save that off as like a 2D vector. I don't know if I want to do that yet. Free cam. Start location X. Free cam, start location Y. So when you press, I want you to do this. I want to get those start locations recorded. While you're pressed, is there an event on tick? Yes. Oops. it probably won't be structured like this. I just need to get something in so I can see if I even like this. So, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of variables and it's gonna be really sloppy for now, and that's just how I work. Get free cam. If we're in free cam mode, do stuff. If not, fuck off. If we're in free cam mode, get the mouse position. Take the delta from where you were. Yaw is this way? We'll find out. Set that to be your yaw. Pitch. Set this to be your pitch. Oh, sorry. The delta from where you were to where you are now. This is your pitch. Set this to true. This is all just stuff I had already set up for the... On the controller you can already do something pretty similar to this. But nowhere near... I constrain you so you can't really move much at all right now. Whereas I'm not going to constrain you this time. Let's see what happens. This will probably be a disaster, but you know. Doesn't feel like anything's happening at all. Let's look at this here. Let's make sure this is even getting triggered. Oh shit. Okay. When I middle mouse click. Okay. So it's getting set. Free cam is getting set to true. It's actually still true. These numbers are insanely big. Why is nothing happening? Cumulative additive yaw. Where do I actually do that? Oh, I actually have to, like, set this. I don't want to add. So on the controller, I'm adding as I thumbstick around. Whereas with this, I think I want to set the yaw is Z. As I move on X. Okay, so this should be Z. Right. Let me look at my viewport. What I'm manipulating is the rotation of the world rotation node. Set rotation relative. This is the interesting thing about how do I want to do this. So I'm saving off your mouse position in X and Y. Probably need to save off what is current world rotation? Use that down here. I'm gonna reuse that variable up here. It's probably a dumb idea, but we'll see what happens. Get this, add, it's not gonna be add, what is it, combine rotators. Sorry, current, get. Set world rotation. No. Actually set the world, not the variable. Set the world rotation to this. No, this will be weird. Let's see what happens. Too much. Okay. Okay, we're gonna take that and other thing, when you release, set free cam to false so it stops. Let's take this and multiply this by, oh, I don't know, 0.05. Actually, don't need to mess with those at all. It's really not smooth at all. Also up and down and left and right are switched. There's a lot of weird shit's going down here. Alright. Talia says, make an axis mapping for turning, get the camera transformed, then break it, get the rotation, make a new rotation. I don't want to rotate the camera in place. I want to rotate the camera around a point. I see where you're going with that. I don't know what to say other than just trust me. I think this will give me the better result that I want in the end. I mean, I have worked with I've worked with this kind of system before. No, the camera boom. This is a separate blueprint from the player. I am matching its motion to the player. I'm doing a... I don't know. I have a lot of plans for this camera. Kind of want to script it up this way. We'll see. I don't know how to articulate it. I don't know exactly what I want, but I'm pretty sure I can get where I want to be. Like this. I think this is the right way. Also, the axis mapping stuff, I will probably have to do something more like that for the controller. If I am understanding you properly. I want this to operate more like the camera does in Maya, and less like it does in a different game. And also at the end of it, I need to know the exact world rotation. You'll see. Or I'll be wrong. One of these two things will happen. Anyway. What am I doing here? Yeah. So, I think one of the things I need to do is when I rotate the world. There is a spring arm in here, to be sure, which I need to actually disable for all this to work. Set the lag off on the spring arm. Yeah, I was pretty happy with the Flame and the Flood. I mean, it let us continue to be a studio. We made a return on our investment, which was the goal at the time, especially for an indie studio launching their first title. We made it in budget, on time. It took 2 years to make it. Came out on multiple platforms. We have brand recognition and name recognition now. I'm really, really happy with it. Okay, so now what we have is, I don't like that it's inverted on the X direction, but at least that's a lot smoother. I also don't like when I click, it's not starting from that location yet. Okay, so some things are going wrong here. When released. Oh. Right. It's set current world with rotation to be get current world rotation. No, dumbass. Get rotation. No. Get rotation of the world rotation node. God damn it. Get rotation. There we go. Alright. Get the world rotation of the world rotation node, which is very confusing, and set it to be the current world rotation variable. That'll fix that pop. The next thing to do when I have FreeCam free is currently rotating world. I wonder if I can make the speed of this a variable. For now, I'll leave it to be 0.2 seconds. Update world rotation. should be pretty trivial. After you're done, update world rotation. This will get us back to where we were. This isn't what I want yet, but we're close. So... what's the difference between making ROI and making a game that makes profit to sustain the next title? I suppose a return on investment means you made back the amount of money you put into it plus some amount of return, whereas enough profit to sustain the next title. See, look, now when I release the mouse, I rotate back. Also, I don't have a pop when I start. Check it. I can look around the world a bit. I don't like the inverted X. Let me fix that real quick. When the free cam is set to false, then you can predefine where it should be relative to the player location. But then that would constrain everything. No, I need it to constrain everything. That's very important. That's very important. You can't actually give them free... like I said earlier, if you actually have free rotation of the camera, then what WASD is changes, right? Like if you're looking down X, then when you hit W to go up, I always want you to go forward. And what forward is changes based on the camera, right? So if I put the camera at a diagonal, then I reach a point where it's unclear what happens when I hit the WASD buttons, and that's a very bad experience for the player. So the second you release free cam, I do need to move you back to location. That's very important for this, for what I'm making right now. So, yeah, what's the magical number I'm multiplying this by? That's all up here, I suppose. Negative 0.5. Also, let's multiply by something slightly less aggressive. 0.1. Shouldn't need to do that every tick. That's kind of crazy. I'm aware of how to promote a variable, dude. This is not my first fucking rodeo, man. Update camera. Update free camera. Tick. I didn't mean to be rude. I'm sorry about that. I am always appreciative anytime I learn something from the chat. It is actually pretty cool. And you guys have been extremely helpful. So, okay. Things I want to do. Let's make sure this is feeling kind of good. You know, I don't hate that. Oh shit. Whoa, I hate that. What the hell was that? X and Y is correct. Right now, Y and Z is inverted. Oh, what the shit? Très bizarre. So when I rotate when I'm at the other side of the character. Why is that happening? Interesting. So when I rotate the world, this creates... Am I gimbal locked? No. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So when you're facing... So what... Positive... How do I explain this? When I'm moving the cursor up and down and Y, I'm just directly putting that into the pitch, but I need the pitch to be relative. Basically, if you're looking from behind, then that needs to be negative. If you're looking from the side, that actually needs to be X. It needs to be in the roll, because I'm manipulating the rotation in world space, rather than manipulating it in local space. There might be a way to manipulate it in local space. I'd have to think on it. I'd have to refactor some things, because I am kind of always in world space right now. I mean, for now, just to get what I want. That's pretty kludgy, but no, I'm not gonna do that. I was thinking I could just manipulate one axis in the spring arm and another one in the world rotation node, but I don't want to do that. It's going well, Tango. Welcome back, man. It's good to always see you. Made some new friends today, Tango. Growing a community here. It's going pretty well. I don't know if I'm going to put this particular one on YouTube. If I do, I'm going to call it something like... I basically had a really strong idea of what I was going to do today when I started the stream, and then I started the stream and I did everything else. And now I'm rat-holing on a camera, but this is important in my brain, that this is not shit. Sorry, Afra, this is how I stream, man. Oh, I don't know, these, I made a friend, Talia, here. And Afra is reading the chat. Or hanging out with me today. Yeah. Plans are for noobs. Okay. I still don't have a solution. I'm just talking to you guys to delay the fact that I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I know what I would do as an animator. I want the Z node to be... Maybe that's the right thing. Maybe world rotation should only ever be Z. Talking myself back into doing something kind of sloppy. Yeah, fuck it. Okay. So... Okay. So I'm gonna take your XY. I'm gonna leave all that because I like that and that's working. And the stuff, the Q and E to change the cardinal directions, I need to leave that. I like the way all that's working pretty well. What isn't working is the canting up and down, which I'm going to directly manipulate the spring arm. Take it times this. What is your... By default, you're negative 30. Take it like this. So this is my delta. Let's subtract 30 from it, because there's just this natural kind of... The starting location for the camera is kind of pointing down a bit. Yeah. Set relative rotation? Not add. Set relative rotation to be... Make a rotator. This is your pitch, I believe. And then down here, where I'm reusing this logic to rotate back to your starting position, and also to rotate the world. So I need to add something here. When I get current world rotation, I need to also have a different thing that is, I guess, new spring arm rotation. I'll set that here. The way I'm gonna get that is get rotation. Can't get relative. Just rotation. Set relative rotation. Add it. Oh, it's just right there. Cool. Oops. Duplicate that. Let's make a current spring arm rotation. No, not new. God damn it. Current. Actually, I don't think I need new. It's always gonna be 0. Yeah. Here you lerp from here to here. So this is where I lerp the world rotation to where I want to be. I'm also, at the same time, gonna lerp the spring arm. Set relative rotation. On the spring arm to be Alright, over time you're going to lerp from your current rotation to 0. What's your deal? Okay. I don't even know what I just did. Let's see if any of that works. That's not working at all. That's the opposite of working. That's some other thing. Not working. Okay. So, what the fuck is that? Dynamic camera. I'm sorry, I am a morning person. Rotate the world is what I didn't know how to put it, because I'm not rotating the character. What I'm doing is I'm rotating the camera around the world so you can see the back of it and such. But I'm not rotating the camera, I'm rotating from the position of the world. So, if in a backwards way, what it looks like is you're just taking the world and going like this. Right? It's what happens when I hit Q and E. It's what happens, or the shoulder buttons on a controller. So rotate world is the function I initially wrote for doing that. Jesus, that's hella broken. When I would rotate around the world before I broke everything. Let's unbreak everything. Right, so this spring arm is not doing what I thought it did, in hindsight. The spring arm is not at the location I want to be. Oh, the way this works is super weird. There's probably a reason I did it like this. I'm not entirely sure why there's a 10-degree pitch. Must have been a lighting thing. Doesn't that get blown away? rotation is cumulative. Okay. I see. I don't want to break the controller. That surprises me that that works, actually. I'm going to test the controller real quick, because I haven't tested that in forever. Is there a way to set the pivot offset for a character in a level through blueprints? To set the pivot offset for a character? Like a character pawn? The controller still works. I mean, it's broken the same way everything's broken. Is there a way to change the pivot offset for a static mesh? Off the top of my head, I don't think so. What I would do is I would immediately, I would get the world location of the static mesh. I would store that in a variable real quick, preferably a local variable. I would then move a parent scene node to where I want the pivot to be, and then I would set the static mesh world space location or world space transform to be what I had it before. So basically what I would do is I'd be like, hey, where are you in world space? Okay, take your parent, move it, which will move you, and then set you back to where you were in world space. That's probably what I would try to do. I don't know if that, I mean, I don't know enough about your use case. That's just off the top of my head. Alright, let me know how it goes, man. Keep us posted, Tango. I want people in here to be making games, man. Right, let's get back to the problem that everything's super broken. I don't want to mess with this. I don't know what I was thinking when I did it, but I don't want to mess with it right now. So I'm just gonna keep being sloppy. Call this the free cam pitch. Where'd you go, buddy? All the way to the bottom. Cool. Okay. Yeah, no problem, man. Good luck. So this is the node I'm gonna mess with. Okay, well, we're getting a little weird at the end there when I release. Right, free cam pitch. I felt something weird for a second there, but maybe I'm crazy. See, that was weird, right? And now it's fine. It's only right when I first switch. Maybe. Why is it sometimes doing that and sometimes not? Maybe it's when I first launch and then rotate. Was it lag? What did that? I mean, it seems like it's working. There, it's not working. See? What is this? How did I get into this state? Oh, God, I wish there's a way to... What was that? Here we go again. Got it. What is this? Why is that happening? I need some kind of... indication as to what's going on. It's happening again. Is there a way to pause? Shit. What do I even look for? I mean, it's hard to explain what's going on. It's like you're not... I don't even know what to describe that as. I also know I'm currently locked in a weird spot. Like, what is this? Oh, I think that's just my spring arm not getting set back properly. Oh, I think I know what that is. Okay. So here's a trick. I'm constantly setting this bool to be on and off, and I'm doing it in different places. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a variable that's an int, and I'm going to call it... This is a really dumb trick that I learned from a programmer that probably everybody knows, but here we go anyway. So I'm going to create a variable that's called disable camera rotation lag. By default, this is 0. Wait, is this gonna work? Hold on, let me think. Yeah, this is gonna work. Okay. So, over here I'm gonna create a function called disable, I spelled that wrong, camera I can't see what I'm typing. Disable camera rotation lag. Here, let's rename this something a little more logical, like disable camera rotation lag count. Okay, this will be 0. Whenever I disable the camera rotation lag, I increment this. So multiple things can be disabling the rotation lag. I don't want to just re-enable it as soon as one of them ends. Enable our custom event. Enable camera rotation lag. When I re-enable, instead I'm just going to take this and I'm going to subtract 1 from it, and then if this is less than or equal to 0, and only if it's less than or equal to 0, I will re-enable the camera rotation lag. Disable, I don't need to bother checking. You're always disabling if you call this function. Okay. So now if there's 3 things that are disabling the camera rotation lag and one of them ends, I won't accidentally flip this bool to true. And now I have this for the future. That'll sit up here. Rotion, huh? Fucking can't type. Disable camera rotation. Oh, good morning, Chris Light. Talking about my worth in tea? Jerks. British people. Your weird non-coffee beverages. Disable camera rotation lag. here somewhere I enable it again. I think. Enable it here, and I'll enable it here. Alright, let's see how that worked. Let's see, I think what happened before was I could only get it if I started the rotation before the last one ended. I guess now we're pretty good. Alright. We can now look around a little bit, try to figure out what's going on. What I really want is when you release, you'll lock into a camera mode that's like, if I take this and I rotate this way, I want to just stay this way. I want this to be an alternative way to execute a QE, kind of to do this. Yeah, basically. Shouldn't be too hard. Just making sure I don't need any of this stuff. I might bring back scrolling to zoom in and out too. I don't know, we'll see. See if people want it. I need to playtest this game at some point. Shit. This is like 101 dumb mistake, not doing that. Anyway. You know, there's some pretty stupid easy ways I could just detect on release. I could detect if this delta is greater than 45 degrees, and then just, I'm gonna do that. It's so easy. Okay, because all I'm doing is I'm storing a rotation delta from where you were. So now I just have to detect if that rotation delta is 45 degrees or more. Yeah, fuck it, man. Why make this hard? Is this greater than 45 degrees. Print string. Let me open up my player controller. Camera stuff. Yeah, this is the rotation. I didn't even make this, I didn't even set this properly. That's embarrassing. Let me do this right. Right now I'm just calling gamepad left shoulder or the Q button directly. What you should do, because you want to be able to let people map this later, is you should go into your project settings. You should go to your inputs. And you should declare it a variable that people can mess with later. So like, my action mappings here would be, oh crap, what do I want to call this? I guess rotate world. Clockwise? Sure. I'm bad at things. Clockwise world rotation. And then here you define like what sets us off. Well, the letter Q for now, for default. Or if you're using a gamepad, the left shoulder. Another mapping you can add is, let's go with counter clockwise world rotation, which I'm assuming is E, and right shoulder, yep. The letter E. Key. E. Wow, this is gonna be rough. E is a popular letter. E. Or right shoulder. And now that those are defined, I can just say clockwise world rotation. When that's pressed, do this. And this is gonna make it much easier later when I inevitably let people remap things. Counterclockwise world rotation. Also, who knows? Like, maybe there's some crazy new controller in the future that isn't defined by Q, E, or fucking game buttons. Oh, you guys want me to throw you this? Oh, God, I wish. Man. Then you can fake your key. Wait, do you want to snap to the nearest angle? Then you could fake your keyboard input based on the mouse direction when you release the button. Yeah, I mean, I already have this logic here, so I think all I'm going to do is tie into my existing logic for world rotation. I'm just going to set these variables and let it fly right now. Are games you do on your own property of the studio too? No, there's actually a pretty clear... I talked to my studio about it because I was pretty worried about it, and I was like, hey, is it cool if I work on a game at home? And a lot of them, I co-own the studio, so we kind of define the rules and we chat about this stuff all the time, and they're contracting on the side for money, and so the kind of deal is like, well, the studio doesn't get their contracting on the side. Instead of picking up extra rigging and animation contracts for money, I work on this, which makes me happier. And if I eventually sell it for money, then cool, right? My studio will be cool with it. I would like it. I don't want to like do the marketing and stuff, so I don't know, we'll see. In the future, it would be neat if I don't know. We'll see. You have to keep in mind, like, the Molasses Flood is an entity that I co-own, and this is a game that I totally own. And so, like, buying my game from myself, especially when I have a great deal of say in that. So if it comes to that down the line, that would be pretty trivial. My coworkers are super cool. Oh yeah, of course. I mean, I started a company with them. I wouldn't have done that if they were jerks. I love my coworkers quite a bit. I definitely respect them a lot too. And keep in mind, I don't actually have employees right now. So far, the Molasses Flood is 4 people, and all 4 of us own a chunk of the company. 3 of us own more of the company because we've been there since the beginning, but and the 3 of us that own the company own it equally. But we all own it, and we all are technically not employees. We're technically the taxes are different, basically, is all it really comes down to. Do they respect you? I don't know. Fucking ask them. I assume so. I don't think they'd start a company with someone they don't respect. I mean, we didn't choose this lightly, right? All of us were... I mean, my programmer, Alan, has been a programmer in the industry for 20 years, and calling him a programmer is extraordinarily rude because he was the tech director on the Mortal Kombat team at Midway. He's led teams of a very large number of programmers across the world. Forrest Dowling was the lead level designer on BioShock Infinite. Shad LeClaire was one of the most senior environment artists on BioShock Infinite. These are all people that could easily have a very, very nice salary. And I'm not exactly a fucking slouch either. So when we decided to start a company together, we did it, we did it with the understanding that we're all extremely experienced. Forrest tried streaming at one point. I don't think he really cared for it much. I think Forrest, I don't know. He says he has difficulty thinking through things when, a lot of his design work is actually like this, exactly like this, messing with Blueprint, and he didn't enjoy doing that with people watching him. I think he felt the need to, like, talk a lot. Whereas I clearly don't give a shit. I love you guys, but if I'm in the moment and I'm like, I need to figure this out, I'll just be quiet and do it, and then explain it afterwards. Even I think it slows you down a bit to stream. I just don't mind it because it's fun and it kind of keeps me engaged, and it keeps me... I cannot alt-tab to Twitter if I'm streaming, which is another... Like, if you're going to choose how you're distracted, I'd rather be distracted by hanging out with you people than the soul-crushing reality of the internet, you know? You guys are much nicer than the people on Twitter. Hey, Middle, I'm glad you could make it, man. Alright, so where are we here? What the hell was I even doing? This is like Twitter in action. Every 10 minutes. Oh, I was reading Twitter. I forgot what I was doing. This is my life. Right, let's add an event. I don't even think I need to. I think... Yeah. I think I can go here. Where was I? This is my new stuff. Okay, so this is free cam stuff. I think I can go here and say... Wait, no, maybe I did need that. Okay, get controller. Middle's watching me do this and he's already gonna tut at this. Cast to player controller. I'm gonna go right back to having a shitty time. Call clockwise. Maybe I need to... Maybe it won't let me... Can I call an input action? Call input... I guess it won't let me call an input action. Alright, fine. Manual clockwise world rotation. Manual counterclockwise world rotation. Oh man. This is literally a cyclical dependency, by the way. The camera is casting the player controller to the blueprint player controller, calling that event, which is then calling the camera. I am aware that this is real dumb metal, I'm sorry. Hey, Pudge Cheeks. The Mage Jam. Isn't there a huge Unreal Jam going on right now? Okay, so if I've rotated more than 45 degrees, do a manual clockwise rotation. Manual counterclockwise world rotation if it's less than 45 degrees. If this is less than 45 degrees, do that. Otherwise, you're within a threshold, just update the world rotation. Bam. Cool, Metal. That's sweet. However vast the darkness, we must supply our own light. Nice. I should start checking the tags. It's a 1 week one, right? Oh, look at this, guys. If you rotate far enough, it stays there. This one doesn't quite feel right. Did I do that right? If this is, oh, if it's less than negative 45. Dumb dumb. feel like locking you out for 0.2 seconds might be a bit too long. I think what I want to do now is say that for the dynamic camera. Alright, this is feeling pretty good. I actually like this. Free cam. Mouse free cam. I just feel like I should put that on the right click. I need to reevaluate my control scheme. Yeah, I'm more or less snapping it by 45 degrees angles, Tango. So basically I'm detecting when you free cam rotate the camera, if you do it further than 45 degrees in the negative or positive direction, then I snap to that direction. Later, Thomas. Thanks for joining in. Rotate the world is set to always take 0.2 seconds. I want to make that variable. Which is a way to manipulate the play rate. Maybe that's a little too finessey for right now. Yeah, I don't need to overhaul that right now. Alright. That was good. That was good. We got some stuff done there, guys. Shit. I'm happy with this. I'll play it again. Just to make sure I'm still happy with it. I do feel like maybe today's the day I figure out my control scheme a little bit better. I liked it so much better before when I could just click and it would always do something. For him and for her. That was always the better way. Like this right click disable arrow bullshit. It's not here for these two characters. It's here for this one. Because this is the one where I'm like, okay, when I activate, I need to decide which limb to activate. And if I'm activating or deactivating and blah blah blah. And even this feels like complete garbage on the controller. I have no solution there. And there's times when it's just like for the body to move up, you have to pull the bottom limb down. Also, like choosing if it's the bottom limb or this one is a pain. It doesn't make sense that you pull down to push the character up. I have no solution here. I like the game. I can't congeal on a solution for the controls for this one character. It just doesn't feel good. I'm glad you like them, Biker Dad. They are super temp. Though I will say one thing that was kind of like a happy accident, because I was like, I didn't have any time. In an hour I tried to bang this guy out. That's why all the outlines aren't there and stuff. And I reused those boxes, but I've realized I like that when you shift away from them, they've got those little blinky lights. I'm going to soften it a lot and make it more like street lights, I think, and just make it a subtle glow rather than a harsh box. But I think I need to have something like that on her. I'm going to remove the little smiley face on her. That doesn't belong. I don't even know why that's there. Why is that there? I can do that right now. Hold on a second. Player... Blueprint list for she's T-bot. There, see, she's cuter like that. I'm gonna give her eyes. They're not supposed to be eyes, they're lights. I'm gonna give her lights. You shouldn't fall in love with music boxes. They're just music boxes. They're machines. They don't have person. They have personality. They're adorable. I fucking love them. I think you should totally fall in love with little machines. I take it all back. Anyway, what's that going on about? Now we can look at her, because we have free cam. Look at that. That feels pretty good, actually. Not mad about this. I'm gonna change her art up considerably. This whole back is going to go away. This is gonna be an accordion. These are gonna be things that pull out to pull the accordion in and out. She's gonna become a proper accordion. This is just temp limbs to get me where I needed to be. Same thing with him. He's completely temp. I'm just trying to get a feeling right now. Like, I think he should be cool. By he should be cool, I guess I just said he needs to have a handlebar mustache and a mohawk. That's what I had before Tango. I had it so that for this character, I think when I was happiest with him was when left click moved one limb and right click moved the other limb. But there was still times I'd accidentally click and get a limb I didn't want. I'd click and I'd get the wrong limb because I didn't expect it. That was the old control scheme. Another thing is, I mean, with a mouse, this isn't a solution for the controller, but with a mouse, like it says, you just literally, if you're hovering over the limb, that's the one you manipulate. That might be the right solution. Because that would be consistent. Like if I click on the limb, that's obviously the limb I want to activate. How the hell would I map that to a controller though? I don't have a cursor. And I play games with a controller. Yeah, F and R. I mean, I had it left and right click. I can't it's hard for me to explain why it feels bad. I just played it and I was like, oh, this feels bad. And I had other people play it and they were like, yeah, this feels bad. I don't know. I think I'm going to spend November getting to a place. I mean, I'm gone next weekend, and I don't have that much time, but I want to get to a place where I can give this build to a couple of you guys in the chat, and you can help me out with the control schemes. You can playtest for me, like a handful of you guys. By the end of the month, this is recorded. By the end of November, I'm gonna have a handful of you guys playing this and giving me feedback. It'll probably be some of you guys that are here from the beginning. Like Tango and Mittens and such. That's gonna be my goal. Because at least you guys know the struggle, so it'll be nice to me. But maybe I shouldn't get somebody that'll be nice to me. Maybe I should take it to a stranger. That's probably the correct solution. Gotta eat your vegetables in life, you know? Yo, now that I can zoom around, I'm like, what the hell's going on with her feet here? Like, what is this? I need a better solution. Now that I can inspect the art, I hate it. This is the worst. You know, I can totally see how much I was cheesing that limb here. I never finished. That catches the light terribly. Oh god, I got a lot of work to do. Let's see here. Alright, what should we do next? I need to get a soda and then I'll figure it out. I'll be right back, guys. Alright, I'm back. Alright, let's decide what to do here. I don't know why I put this on. I'm not listening to anything. Okay, I need to put this on for no reason. It helps me focus. Don't fuck with my superstitions. Let's see what's broken, because you know what? I bet shit's broken. I bet it is. And so we can spend some time. Did the camera always jank like that? Something's up, guys. I've already found a bug. Is... rotation leg's off. It should be on. Why is it off? Alright. Everywhere we call it disable rotation. We have to enable it again. Somewhere we're not. So here's where it's defined. Here's what it's called. We disable it at the beginning here. We theoretically enable it here. So that should be fine. Just in case, let's go ahead and enable it right here. We also disabled the camera rotation lag here. This is where I'm doing the update world thing. It should be enabled again no matter what, right? Here. Shit, so what's doing this? There's times when this is not finished. I wonder if there's a way to say if you're interrupted. If you spam the button quickly enough before this finishes, a new one will start, and it will always play from start, and you won't notice it. Like, if you decide to slam the E button to rotate, this will all work seamlessly, which is great for the player, but also means there's times when this will not get called. So... shit. My plan from before may not work. Oh, I already know if I'm currently rotating the world, so if I am, I can just skip disabling the camera rotation lag again. That's pretty fucking easy. Yeah, Javix, the combo levels are gonna be much harder. I mean, it's kind of like easy. Alright, I'm spoiling the entire game. I don't care. There's only like 20 people in here. So this is the opening. And this is Act 1, or they're separate. I'm calling this getting the band back together. And in these you can kind of switch between... Here, wait, let me see if it... Can I no longer call a level? Shit, I think we just found a bug. Apparently when you load a level, the HUD, and it's not a combo level, the HUD never goes away. Let's fix that real quick. In the beginning I didn't know what these characters were going to be. I just knew I wanted a robot that had 4 arms, so I called it 4 Arms, and later that became the trombone. That's why they're called things like the piano/accordion character is called T-Bot. Under the hood they're just called whatever I came up with, and I tried a lot of different bots, so there's some that are like 1 arm unextendable bot. Like, there's some real weird ones in there. Yeah, let's figure out what's going on here. Game mode. Okay, so I loaded a level and it wasn't a combo level. So if you're not a combo level... it should still load. Oh. I just broke everything last night, apparently. In my zeal to set up a combination level. A combo level is a level with many sub-levels. I think I've talked about that. It's been a pretty big focus for the last couple days. Okay. Yeah, so for the first act, you're going around. It's kind of non-linear. The robots are scattered around throughout the world, and you're doing the easier puzzles, right? And you can switch between them. They'll be in different places in the world. That one will hopefully not be super broken. That's Act 1. And then things get harder as you go on. A plot point happens about here. Another plot point happens about here. This is Act 2, and this is the finale. Which I'm not going to show you too much of that. But there's a whole story arc here that will occur that I'm also not going to talk about. Because this will be on YouTube. Maybe. But yeah, none of that's in, obviously. Right now I'm just trying to get the core game stuff going. Okay, what was I fixing a second ago? Let's see if, okay, let's see if I can break shit again. Yeah, the camera lag's there again. Good. See how it draws around him? Helps you kind of see that you can stand on him now. That's not good enough. I need more. Alright, so I know how to play, but like, what if I'm here? Can I rotate? No, it won't let me. Okay, good. I should probably, like... I'm not gonna let you do that, because then you could, like, toss her off the world. What other weird shit can I do? That's good, it won't let me do that. Kinda feel like if you do that, you should throw him off the world. That's a bunch of stuff I need to set up. That wasn't the idea, Tango. Don't get me wrong, I love it. But I don't think I want to have, like, a nemesis robot that's rock and roll. I don't want to start the rock and roll versus jazz thing, because I like both, so that seems like that'd be bad. I should check out that Rayman level. Alright, guys, I think I need to stop the stream, get a snack, and then work on some game design-y kind of stuff. Try to come up with more levels, and I honestly don't think I can stream making levels. Like, it's just like complete chaos when I do that. For these in particular, because I have no idea what I'm doing, and it's like, it's hard to explain. So I think I'm gonna actually roll out. I appreciate you guys joining me on a sleepy Sunday, and I will be back tomorrow. Streaming again, probably in the morning, because that seems to be what I do. Of course. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks, Pudge Cheeks. Thanks for coming back again. 2 days in a row. Groovy. I mean, I'm showing you the levels as I make them. I just... And there's a certain amount of... It will ruin the game if I stream absolutely everything, right? So I can't stream absolutely everything. Oh yeah, Chris just linked to the podcast. Chris and I do a podcast together that we've been doing for over a year now, every week. So if you want to, like... I don't know. Listen to our podcast. There is the link. That is the worst. I'm not good at marketing. Chris, I'm sorry, dude. But yeah, well done. Alright guys, I'm gonna roll out. Bye.